Oscar nominees! Yay! Who cares, right? Well, I do, a little bit. I don't like to admit it, but yeah, I do watch the Academy Awards, and I do, care about who's nominated and who wins and stuff like that, even though I really shouldn't. Because, they're just, they're an awards organization just like any other. It's just another group of people saying which are the best of whatever. And judging by the nominees, they basically think the best stuff is the same as what everybody else thinks. There's 10 nominees for Best Picture again this year. A few high-profile snubs and what have you. And I'm not going to go into necessarily predicting who will win each one of these, but I wanted to talk about of these nominees, who I would like to see win. Best Picture. 6 of these movies nominated for Best Picture are on my top 10 list of the year. Of course, there's a couple that I haven't seen. The Social Network I have not seen. Actually, no, that's the only one I haven't seen. No, not The Social Network. The King's Speech. Right. Sorry, The King's Speech. I have been sort of avoiding this movie. Haven't been real interested in seeing it. But I saw a review in which the girl who was doing the video, she basically compared it with The Social Network. In that you would think by hearing about it, it wouldn't be all that interesting of a film, but it's actually really good, and you'd be depriving yourself if you decided not to check it out. So I will see it at some point. Before Oscar night. It's gotten a ton of nominations. It's gotten more nominations than any other movie. But I can't really speak as to whether or not I think what it deserves, if anything. 127 Hours, number 6 on my list. Black Swan, The Fighter, number 5 on my list. Inception, number 2 on my list. The Kids Are Alright, number 10 on my list. The King's Speech, The Social Network, number 4 on my list. Toy Story 3, number 1 on my list. True Grit by the Coen Brothers and Winter's Bone. I've seen all of them except for The King's Speech. So what would I like to see win? Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is not going to win because it's an animated movie and it's a second sequel. But it deserved to win because it was awesome. Best Director. Christopher Nolan not nominated for Best Director. What is going on here, man? You nominated Inception for Best Picture and Best Screenplay, but no nomination for Best Director, man? Yeah, man. Well, at least I don't have to pick between him and David Fincher now, okay? If I've got to pick somebody to win, okay, it's David Fincher, all right? Because I love David Fincher, and the movie is terrific, and he's terrific, and Now, Darren Aronofsky also nominated. Not a big fan of Black Swan. Not a big fan of True Grit, despite, it's the Coen brothers and all that. Tom Hooper. I never heard of Tom Hooper before The King's Speech, so I have to see the film. But then again, I never heard of Sam Mendes before American Beauty either. David O. Russell, he was nominated for The Fighter. That's great. I love The Fighter. That's terrific. Best Actor. Who do I want to see win? I want to see James Franco win for 127 Hours. James Franco's so awesome, and he's really good in the movie. So yeah, I'd love to see that. Jesse Eisenberg is nominated. Jeff Bridges, he won last year. He's nominated again. Javier Bardem is nominated for a movie that's all in Spanish, so that's pretty cool. And of course, Colin Firth is the favorite. Best Actress. Natalie Portman should win it. She worked really freaking hard on that movie, and she should win it. And if she doesn't, it'll go to Annette Bening. The other 3 are sort of also rans. That's kind of how it is with most of the nominations. No matter how many nominees there are, if there's 3 or 5 or 10, it always usually just comes down to 2 nominees. It's either Forrest Gump or Pulp Fiction. It's either Saving Private Ryan or Shakespeare in Love. It's either Crash or Brokeback Mountain. It always seems to come down to just 2 nominees, and that's kind of how it is here with Best Actress as well. I love Michelle Williams. I would love to see her win. That would be fantastic. I would love to see her win it. But Natalie Portman, probably deserves it the most. Best Supporting Actor, Christian Bale, of course. John Hawkes. Now, this is one of the big surprises for me, that John Hawkes won. A lot of people were talking about him maybe possibly being a dark horse, but probably not. And here he is. He won. That's great. I've been a fan of John Hawkes since From Dusk Till Dawn. He was the clerk in the liquor store in the very first scene of that movie. An awesome scene. And he has this great line where he goes, "You want me to act natural? I'm acting natural. Under the circumstances, I should get a freaking Academy Award for how natural I'm acting." So that rules. That's really awesome. Jeremy Renner, he's great. Mark Ruffalo, like him. Jeffrey Rush, no surprise there. But yeah, Christian Bale, probably is the one that but I would like to see John Hawkes win. That would be cool. But probably not. Christian Bale, he was great, so that would be very cool if he did it. Best Supporting Actress, Amy Adams and Melissa Leo for The Fighter, of course. Helena Bonham Carter for The King's Speech, of course. Jacki Weaver is nominated for Animal Kingdom. That's very cool. That's a little scene picture. And Hailee Steinfeld for True Grit, which is very cool. She was awesome in that movie. Who is my favorite to win? I would love to see Hailee Steinfeld get it. My favorite scene in that movie is the one where she's negotiating with the clerk in the store. She just keeps hammering and hammering and hammering until she gets everything she wants. It was really cool. Made my head spin. That would be awesome if she won. Probably won't because she's super young. It'll probably go to Melissa Leo, I think. I don't know. I don't know who the favorite is in this category. I really don't. Adapted screenplay. Now here, 127 Hours, The Social Network, Toy Story 3, yes, excellent, True Grit, and Winter's Bone. Now, adapted screenplay the definition of adapted screenplay is based on material previously produced or published, right? Now, this means it's adapted from some other thing. In it, Toy Story 3 here is not really an adaptation. It is a sequel. It's not the same thing. They have created a new story with many of these same characters, but it isn't adapted from like a play or a TV show or a book or a magazine article or a video game or something like that. It is an original story and an original script, but that's a technicality. They have to say adapted because it's a sequel to another work with those characters. So there you go. But if I had to pick somebody for best screenplay, it would be that one. Toy Story 3, awesome movie, awesome script. It'll probably go to The Social Network. Very, very good script in that movie. Really, really intricate. All the back and forth in time. Really good. I have a little problem with some of the dialogue, but overall, a fantastic script. So that would be good too. I would like to see either of those two movies win. Best Original Screenplay, Another Year by Mike Leigh. The Fighter, very cool, very cool. Inception, all right. The Kids Are All Right, The King's Speech, sure, no surprise there. Who would I want to see win here? Inception. Inception had, Christopher Nolan's script. He wrote it pretty much all on his own, although I'm sure his brother, they bounced ideas around. In addition, directing, so it's like, yeah, amazing premise, really original, really exciting. Love to see him win. And if they won for The Fighter, that would be awesome too. Foreign language movie. Now, the only one I've seen here is Dogtooth, which was really shocking. So it's good to see that one here. Documentary, Exit Through the Gift Shop. Yay! Exit Through the Gift Shop was nominated. And Restrepo. Read lots of great things about Restrepo. The Inner DVD Pattern just did a review on that movie, and I know it's probably quite excellent. So if that one won, I'd be very pleased. Best Animated Feature, How to Train Your Dragon and Toy Story 3. I've seen both of them. They're both great, but of course I want Toy Story 3 to win because it deserves. Best Cinematography, Black Swan, Inception, excellent. The King's Speech, The Social Network, excellent. True Grit, very good. I want to see Inception get cinematography. It's a beautiful looking movie. Wally Pfister has shot all of Nolan's movies from Memento onward. It's a spectacular looking movie. I saw it in IMAX. It's beautiful. They should release that movie every single year for at least 1 week in IMAX, just so everyone can see it in IMAX again instead of, at home. That's how awesome that is. So yeah, Inception is the one. And The Social Network, here's the thing. If The Social Network wins Best Cinematography, I think will be the first cinematography winner to be shot entirely digitally. No film at all. That would be, fairly historical. Yeah, so that would be cool. But Inception deserves it. Inception should get it. Best Editing. Okay, now here's the other thing. Inception is not nominated for Best Editing. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? Inception totally deserves to be all the back and forth between all those different, dream levels and stuff like that. It was amazing. It worked great. 127 Hours is nominated. Black Swan is nominated. The Fighter, very cool. The King's Speech and The Social Network. Of these nominees, I think maybe The Social Network should get it because, again, it's the brisk pace. It really, this is partly down to the directing and the acting as well, but it really, just keeps moving along like nobody's business, and, and all the cross-cutting, of course, is really great. That's partly the script as well, but still, excellent editing. Anything Fincher, yeah, great editing as far as any, except for Benjamin Button, of course. I'm not fond of the editing in that movie. Best art direction, don't really care that much about this category. Costumes either. It's kind of hard to judge. They're all sort of, period pieces, except for Inception, of course. That's not a period piece, but still, it had to have some production design in it, involving the limbo area, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Best makeup, The Wolfman, The Way Back, and Barney's Virgin. I don't really have an opinion on that. Best original score, 127 Hours, How to Train Your Dragon, Inception, The King's Speech, and The Social Network. Now, I like The Social Network score, but I want to see Inception get it. Hans Zimmer, another really, really exciting score for Hans Zimmer. I want him to get an Oscar, so I want him to get it for that. Best original song, couldn't care less about that one. Best sound design, don't care. Best sound editing, yeah, great, don't care. Best visual effects. Now, here's a really cool thing. Now, I love best visual effects category because it's about visual effects, and I've loved them ever since I was a kid. But normally there's only 3 nominees, and this year there's 5. That's great. Awesome. More love to spread around, except for this. No Tron Legacy. No Tron Legacy nominated for visual effects. What is that all about? That movie was almost exclusively visual effects, you know? Now, what are you going to do? Okay, so Alice in Wonderland's nominated. I definitely don't want that movie to win. Iron Man 2, pretty decent. You know, good effects in that one. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1, excellent effects. Inception, very, very good effects. Hereafter, now here's the surprise here. Hereafter, the Clint Eastwood movie, has a sequence where a tsunami, a big, huge tidal wave, sweeps through an entire village. It goes on for at least 3 minutes. Very, very impressive. So that would be really cool if it won. I think Inception probably deserves it, or Harry Potter. Either of those two I'd be happy with. Iron Man 2, even if Iron Man 2 won, I'd be happy with it because the effects are great. Those suits are all CGI, but they look totally real, so that's very good. Okay, so now enough of what I want to win. Here's what I want to talk about is, when it comes to the Oscars, if I don't, care greatly, if I'm not really super emotionally invested in a particular category, I want there to be an upset. I want there to be, I want whoever to open the envelope and going, and Best Actress goes to Keisha Castle Hughes for Whale Rider. What? And everybody goes, what? And everybody goes nuts, nothing but upsets. That's what I like to see. People, just one surprise after another. That would be amazing. Rather than Colin Firth winning Best Actor, everybody expects it. So instead, I want to see James Franco, of course. James Franco, I think, is the underdog here. Javier Bardem, it's, a Spanish language movie, so of course he's going to be an underdog. He's running behind the guys that are all speaking in English. Jesse Eisenberg, I guess, is kind of an underdog here as well. And, Jeff Bridges just won last year for the country music movie, so I don't think that he's going to get it. But I think of all the guys, between Javier Bardem and James Franco, I want to see James Franco win it. And his, 127 Hours isn't as popular as a lot of the other ones, so I think he's kind of the underdog here. So it'd be great if he won. Best Actress, I think definitely the underdog here is Jennifer Lawrence. Nobody really knew her before Winter's Bone. It's a, very, very low budget movie, and she's just sort of getting started here. So if she won, that would be a huge surprise. Best Supporting Actor, John Hawkes. Again, John Hawkes is definitely the underdog here. Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, Geoffrey Rush, Christian Bale, they all have gotten tons of praise. And John Hawkes has gotten his share, but not nearly as much as the other guys. And I'm rooting for him. So yeah, that would be great. I would love to see him win. Then that line from Dusk Till Dawn would be awesome. Best Supporting Actress, let's see here. Jacki Weaver, probably. I think Jacki Weaver for Animal Kingdom would be the big upset there. And I think probably Amy Adams for The Fighter as well. I can't say that any others, but, Hailee Steinfeld, of course, because she's so young, is probably, an underdog too. And, of course, I want her to get it, so that would be awesome if she got it. And Best Director, Darren Aronofsky, Joel Ethan Coen, David Fincher, Tom Hooper. Like I said, never heard of Tom Hooper before The King's Speech. So the guy who I really want to see win Best Director, if it isn't David Fincher, is David O. Russell. Because I love The Fighter, but also he's definitely, amongst these 5, the underdog of the group. He has probably gotten the least praise out of any of them. So if he won, that would be insane. And as far as Best Picture goes, well, Winter's Bone is definitely an underdog here. Again, just a little scene movie, very, very low budget. And if they won Best Picture, that would be, unbelievable. And The Fighter is also, and 127 Hours. Both those movies are kind of underdogs. 127 Hours more so, but I want to see The Fighter win more. But of course, Toy Story 3 being the animated sequel is probably, the real underdog here. And even last year when I had to choose between Inglourious Bastards and Avatar and Hurt Locker, none of which I really liked all that much, I thought, Up is nominated. Up is not my favorite Pixar movie, but if it won, that would be great. It would be great to see that one. So Toy Story 3 definitely would be an awesome underdog to win. And I would love to see it win, just whether it was an underdog or not, because it's so awesome. So yeah, Who would be like the big surprise for you? That's what I want to know. Who would be like, if somebody, his name is called, you'd be like, what? No way. I think I've got some good picks right here. Yeah. And of course I'm going to see it. I'm actually planning on asking for the day off of work the next day, just so I can stay up late enough to see David Fincher win Best Director, because he's got to win it. He's got to. Okay? Academy Award winner David Fincher. It's got to happen. All right. So, that's me. No, I don't care about the Oscars at all. Okay? They stink. Take it easy.